everybody, it's Ann from Annalise Creates or Annalise Creations. I'm going to show you how I do some of my backgrounds for my artist trading cards, or sometimes for my art journals, and sometimes for backgrounds of mixed media paintings. So this is an old book I found that we no longer use or read, so I took it and decided to use this as to use for backgrounds. So, and it had some cool illustrations, and I found a stamp, a couple of new stamps, old stamps I should say. Let me see if I can find them. I should have had them organized better here, but I didn't. So I'll just show you one of them. So this is the one I used to stamp the background here. I added some more stamping, and then I'm going to show you how I do my backgrounds. But here I'll show you some examples right here. I'll zoom in using my new, I wouldn't say new, but my remote. Can't talk today, sorry. So here is one of them that I did, stamping and all kinds of paints, layers and layers of paints. And here's another one I did. I used, I had cut out some, using my Sizzix die cutter, I had cut out some butterflies of some new dies I had gotten, and I used the leftover, the punch out part, the negative space, to make a stencil out of it. So I used it as a stencil and stenciled on the cool neon colored paint, and it kind of mixed with the black paint or the black ink that was already on the paper, so it gave it a cool effect. And then this one, I had taken some scrapbooking paper and embossed it, and then stuck it to the background and basically painted over it, added some layers, added some texture, more texture to it, using different marks, and then I painted the feather. And this one was sort of in a Christmas theme. I just went with it. As you can see, there's looks like a very tall tree, and I was just fiddling with it and used a lot of metallic paint on this one because it shimmers. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this one. I'll be right back. I'm just going to get some paints, and I'll be back to show you. I'm back. Back in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to pretend that you might have a limited palette or limited supplies. So, because some of us are on a limited budget, so it's, you know, good to kind of show you how you could do something on a limited budget. For instance, if you can't afford an art journal, for instance, you could take an old book that has fairly thick pages, and you could actually also glue the pages together to create, you know, a thicker page, and then you could use it using printing, you know, inks, stamps if you have any, just limited amount, it doesn't matter. So what I do is I first start, this is my fancy schmancy palette box with palette paper in it, and if you don't have a box or you can't afford palette paper, you can just get a plastic leftover bin or, you know, tray or something from, you know, food that you might have eaten. Just rinse it out, wash it good, and then you can use it. So I'm using Blick acrylics for this. I've got, let's see, what color is this? Light blue, permanent, it says. And I have this one. This is a very well-loved one, as you can tell. This one is medium pink, I believe it says. It's painted over in paint. I think I had to paint on my hands when I used that last. And then I got this old Apple Barrel Gloss black craft paint that I'm finishing up the bottle. And it's glossy. I don't care. It'll work. I think I got this for like 97 cents on sale. It was like a real clearance, because after a while acrylic paints, especially the craft paints, can get old, and if you don't use them fairly quickly, they do get old on the shelves. And so that's why a lot of the art stores put their acrylic paints on sale quite frequently, and also their craft paints, because they do have kind of an expiration date on them. So anyhow, so I'm going to start. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take the light pink first. And what I do is the only time I use the palette paper for is to dip things into the paint and then make marks onto the paper. But to start, I just add a little bit of color onto the paper. If you can see that. You have to zoom in a little. Let's see. Bear with me. Still learning the remote control here. Okay, so there's that. And then I get these really cheap sponge rollers, sprayers or rollers at Hobby Lobby, or Michael's sells them in packages. I don't remember how many come in a pack, and some are wider, some are thinner, and I just use them until they get really gunky and yucky. I don't even rinse them out. That's how bad I am. And then I just throw them out when I'm done, because yeah, I don't really save them. But if you are in a limited budget, you can soak these. I would do it right away, or keep a soapy you know, bin or pail or something next to where you're working, and when you're done using it, go ahead and soak it in that. Murphy's Oil Soap is a really great brush cleaner. It's gentle and it actually conditions your brushes, and you just add a little bit to water, and you can soak that in the Murphy's Oil Soap bucket or whatever you're soaking it in. But for me, I don't do that. I'm lazy. So every so often I stock up on these. So I just push the paint around till I think there's no more paint on it. And I just fiddle with it till I get what I think I like. See how I did that? And then I'll take some blue paint, and I'll do the same idea. And I'll push this paint around, see what I get from it. Sometimes you kind of have to push a little hard. What I do sometimes too is I'll spray some water on the paper, like I'll show you what I'll do here. I always keep a bottle of just an old Windex bottle that I emptied out and rinsed out, and I keep some water in it, and I just spray it. And then I can push the paint around better. It moistens the paint so that it goes a little further. And you don't need a whole lot of paint, because then it goes a long way like this. Maya, come here, baby. Come here. Come here. What you doing? What you doing? Can you hear my doggie? She's in the background. She's making noise. She's nudging me because she needs to go outside. So I will be right back.